Welcome to Guided Soul Reflections with Panima and Sangeeta, where healing meets real life. Whether you're spiritual, curious, or simply ready to live with greater awareness, we share through our own life experiences simple and grounded ways to raise your energy and return to clarity, courage, and peace. This is real life, not perfect life, and together we explore what it truly means to grow, heal, and awaken. As we come to the final episode of our vibration series, we want to begin by saying this clearly. Joy, love, and peace are not destinations. They are states you return to, often quietly, when you stop fighting yourself and start meeting life as it is. And today's episode also marks something else, something we're choosing to name with care and honesty. This is the last episode of Guided Soul Reflections that I'll be co-hosting with Sangeeta. Hi, I'm Panima, and for a long time I've lived from the outside in, achieving, adapting, staying strong, and quietly losing my way along the way. My awakening didn't begin with curiosity or seeking. It began when my body could no longer carry what my voice hadn't learned to express. Patterns of guilt, people-pleasing, and self-abandonment. What followed wasn't a retreat from real life, but a deeper return to it, listening inward, meeting discomfort with honesty, and living from truth rather than survival. Today, as a soul mentor, working with emotional healing energy and integration, I walk alongside others, not to fix them, but to support their remembering of who they are beneath the patterns they once needed to survive.
Hi, I'm Sangeeta Divan, a spiritual mentor and intuitive healer. I support individuals who are navigating grief, emotional pain, heartbreak, and trauma. My work integrates transformative modalities such as RTT, Akashic record guidance, energy healing, and hypnotherapy. And everything I offer is grounded in the wisdom of my own journey through loss and through profound healing.
So, before we go further, we want to speak openly about this transition because it actually truly reflects the very work we've been sharing throughout the series, and and Sangeeta will continue to share. There was a time in my life when I wouldn't have been able to say this out loud. As a people pleaser, I would have stayed, not because it was necessarily aligned, but because it felt safer than being honest. And there was a time a conversation like this might have been taken personally or felt like loss rather than truth. But this time was different. Sangeeta and I, the space that we've created and the growth that we've had in both of our journeys allowed me and Sangeeta will talk through her experience. I was able to speak honestly about what feels complete for me in this chapter. And Sangeeta was able to receive that honesty, not as rejection, but as someone honoring my journey.
Wow. Punima. And I want to make sure that our listeners are getting that, when Purnima shared with me that, I think her energies are needed somewhere else. And I think, she wants to move forward. Of course, she'll be part of me always, part of Guided Soul Reflections. And yes, for a minute or two, it felt, of course, I was sad and I had a, quiet moment of crying later on. But what I felt was, of course, Purnima, you were nervous about sharing that
Mm,
how we taken or how. And I think I was quite calm and I was quite, I was just listening to you and saying, okay,
mm,
where is it
mm,
coming from? And what came through to me was is the purities, the intention. It wasn't like I don't want to. It's like I'm guided somewhere else. And for me, that was because it was coming from a place of love. I received it with love. And again, I think you and me both had tears, and when we were talking, and next day as well, we were feeling it because when we come together, we create this bond, we create this thing
Energy.
together. So again, one of us, I'm sure you would have felt the same if I would have
Yeah,
decided
100%.
that. But because of the work we have done, and I think this is the honest truth, and this is when you walk this path of authenticity, when you walk this path of spiritual beings having human experience, um, people will come in your life, people will go from your life, and it's not that you're going away from my life, but what I'm sharing is that few years ago, if it would have happened, I would have taken it very personally.
Mm.
Not that I would have said anything to you, but I would have created this story in my mind of
Mhm.
her. It's like maybe something is wrong, maybe something is wrong with me, maybe I said something, maybe I didn't. So but what I felt was, again, what both of us felt, that how far we have come in
Yeah.
our journey. Like with you, yes, it was, you were quite nervous, but you said it from a purity of your heart, and it was simple. And for me to receive that, okay, actually, it's nothing to do with me, and because we witnessing each other's journey as well, it was quite evident for me. If you're saying that, that means you're guided, in a strong way. Again, you will be part of this podcast always. We'll find out the ways when you're, whatever you're doing. I wish you well wherever you're going. But of course, you'll come and give us messages, and share your journey as well, whatever is happening, whatever the expansion guide,
Yes.
you're guided to
Yes.
do that. And it'll always be lovely. So we will decide how it goes. We don't want to decide that, Purnima with me once a month or something, but we will make sure that Purnima is with us and keep sharing her journey. But again, what we are talking about, when we come from a place of, see, when we are doing people pleasing, it comes from a place of fear,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. And when
Absolutely.
again, I always say, when we plant a seed of fear, love cannot come from there.
Mm.
They are more misunderstanding, or they are more like, okay, you're just doing it, but it's not, aligned with what you want to do or where you want to go it. And then that what happens is we build resentment, towards each other or other
Mm.
people. But when we are honest in our truth, and hopefully, most people will receive that. But because of the journey we are on, I have seen my growth, saying, oh my
Mm.
God, you know. And I remember actually when I left certain channels, or places or people,
Mm.
or
Mm.
sometimes you move away from friends or family, it wasn't taken kindly. It wasn't taken, you know, because I always speak my truth. I have
Mm.
now courage to speak my truth. I wasn't always like that. I was a big people pleaser as well. But I understood that that was not personal to me. That's where they are.
Yeah.
And if they want to process it like that, I cannot do anything. That's not my creation, that's their creation. So I felt a sadness. I felt um, joy for you wherever you're heading. But again, I know that my path is to keep guiding souls through my reflection, whatever I'm learning throughout the day, weeks, and months, and going back and sharing some of my journey. And of course, my biggest part of journey that I'm going to share with everybody is my book, which is almost there. So I will be sharing that as well. But of course, I will be guiding all of you through cards and through channeling and things like that, and whatever is going on in the world, and whatever you need as support from me and love from me. Again, like what Purnima said, it's not to fix anybody, it's about reminding people to come home to themselves and become whole. And I think that's what I can say, Purnima, right
Yeah.
now.
Thank you. Thank you. And, I'll just reiterate on that for the listeners. A lot of the times and again, as Sangeeta said, me and her are going to continue to be friends. We're definitely going to be collaborating on various things outside of, the podcast. And I will be, coming through when the opportunity arises for both of us. I shared something on Instagram earlier today about trusting your intuition. And that fundamentally is what this is about. It's not meant to be personal. It's not meant to be creating division or any of that. But most times, as human beings, we the way we communicate things, or the wounded areas that we're coming from, will project more of that information than actually just the simple, what the simply is. So, to Sangeeta's point, the work that we've had individually done on ourselves allowed this process to happen, or this moment to happen, with much more grace and ease. And I don't know where my next step is, because I'm very, I've just started Lolita Moon. So, yeah, it's watch this space. But I just want to take this absolute opportunity, Sangeeta, to say thank you, firstly, for receiving it with such love. And I know it was sad, because I also obviously, cried. But that feeling is something I will carry with me, because this is not going to be the first time. It's certainly not going to be the last time, basically, is what I'm saying. As I walk this journey, I'm sure as you walk your journey, we're going to have these moments where we collaborate with people, and we may have to step back for whatever reason. But how we communicate that, how we, treat the other human being in that process, is really important. So yeah. So today's episode actually is, I think this is our 15th episode. We started last year, and it's actually a beautiful episode to be finishing the vibration series on, which is joy, love, and peace, and returning to your natural state. I feel like it was really apt, based on what we experienced as well. And it, yeah, it felt peaceful. It didn't feel um, hard in that sense. That I was doing something, I was going against the grain. So hence, yeah, we were able to receive it. So I'm going to kick off with just a reflective question. So we're exploring how joy, love, and peace naturally arise when the system feels safe enough to rest, and when truth is allowed to move freely. So, Sangeeta, do you want to talk to us about these expansive states of joy, love, and peace?
Well, you know what? Firstly, I'm grateful for how you shared, and I'm grateful to myself as well, because how I received that with love. So what happens is we could move forward with
Yeah.
joy, with peace in our heart, because like we said, any one of us could have created more kind of lower
Fiction.
vibration kind of
Mm,
reply, or how we received it, and it would have created that friction between
mm,
us as well. But it is about honoring that, and joy, love, and peace. I tell you, I always, when I was growing up, there was a lot of chaos in my life,
mm,
you know and even quite very young, when I always wanted peace. I just wanted, like, for God's sake, I just not have little bit of peace in my life. I was joyful, but I wanted peace. And throughout my life, I have always looked outside for
mm,
peace to come,
mm,
because when somebody behave nicely or peacefully, then you feel good, because
mm,
peace feel good, joy feel good, love feel good. Why? One, because it's not it's not what we are achieving. Like you said, it's not a destination where we have to reach. It's the basic quality of our soul.
mm,
There are like seven qualities of soul, is and it is more about, of course, joy, love, peace, and there are other ones. It's like we are born with that is our natural qualities. But what happens is, when we are born here and we forgot who we
yes.
are,
Yeah. Yeah.
then all it's the layers are the layers of judgment, of kind of when people tell you you're not enough or things like that. That creates a layer of uncertainty, the layer of, like, what I'm seeing is like a crystal globe, and I'm seeing the layer of dust, covering it. So the
Mm,
shine,
mm,
it goes, because when it's true in its authenticity, it's very shiny, it's
yeah.
clean,
Right.
it's
Mm,
but as the dust is settling on top of it, we are trying to see ourselves through that vision, and it's not clear. It's not
mm,
clear. There's no clarity in it. So with the work, what we have done, it's about taking those, cleaning that glow, or peeling the onion layers of the
yeah.
onion. A lot
Yeah.
of people say
Yeah.
that. And so actually, while we are doing that process, we are connecting to our true self. And it will feel, moments, we do feel moments of joy, like pure joy, when
Pure
your
joy.
friends
Yeah.
are having fun, or like you're playing with a child, or even you're
Yeah.
observing a child. I feel
Yeah.
you're in your pure joy, you see
Mm,
somebody joyful, and you feel that, and and so those are, one thing is, that is our quality. More and more work we do is about going within and aligning with who you are. And that's how I see it. So that younger version of me, who was always looking for peace outside, realize, actually, I don't need to look outside, I just need to look within me,
yeah.
and
Absolutely.
stop that noise that my mind is creating.
Mm,
So when we, and that's what we do through practices of meditations and quiet walk in nature, things like that.
mm,
It's not that we cannot connect to that for very long time. Yes, of course, we cannot be in high vibration all the time, and that's very important for people to know. I was asked, like 2 weeks ago, I was asked that question when I was giving interview to BBC talking about mental health and January blues, and the presenter was saying, I bet you're happy all the time. I said, no, it's not possible. There's so many emotions. I said, there's so many emotions, and I honor every emotion. If there's
mm,
sadness arises, there is a reason for that. So I'm going to
mm,
honor that. And I said, I wish I could be happy all the time. Yes, I am more and more joyful, because I understand that I can create that joy anytime, and I'm creating the sadness, and I'm
yeah.
creating the irritation. So the moment I realize that I am the creator of those experiences, I have more power.
Yeah.
I'm not giving
Absolutely.
that power to anybody else. So it is all inside us, and momentarily we feel good when we are in those higher vibration, and then life happens, and sometimes we come down, and that's okay as well. And there's a analogy that's really I was guided to talk about that. A long time ago, I was talking to a friend who was going through really, really rough time, and what the vision was given to me is, and I know a lot of other teachers talk about it. When you go to a doctor and they do your ECG, the lines are up and down, up and down.
Mm, mm, mm.
And they say, nothing wrong with you. You're okay. Your heart
Yeah.
is working.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
the line is flat,
Yeah.
then you're no more
There's a
living.
problem.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's a problem. So that's what life is all about. So quicker we understand that going up and down is part of life,
Mm,
don't
mm,
get fixated to one state, that where you
mm,
need to be.
mm,
The
mm,
essence of life is about us experiencing every single thing.
mm.
All that comes to us is coming to us for a reason, either
Yeah.
for us to become aware, or
Mm,
either to just really go with the flow and be joyful and be, or something sad comes for us to, again, accept that with grace as well, and saying, okay, there is something I need to shift my focus, or something I'm feeling, because like we said, we both had a good cry, because it meant a lot. We meant
mm,
a lot to each other.
mm.
There
Yeah.
was a sadness. So I'm not going to say, oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
is it bad?
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
showing that we are human beings. We care about each other. We care about
Yeah.
us being together and laughing
Yeah.
and creating
Yeah.
something beautiful. So I would say to people that all these states that you're craving to get to, uh, you can have access to it every single day.
Yeah.
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 But
Yeah.
it's about, where are you focusing? Are you focusing more on what's going wrong in your life? Or are you focusing more on, hey, I'm so grateful that that moment was so beautiful. And I know I am the creator of it. So I can get there again. I can create that again. So for me, again, I struggled a lot in life, and I felt, oh, whenever I was sad or low, and I used to feel guilty about it. But now, because I understand that all of it is part of me, all of it is, I have space for everything.
Everything. Yeah.
Whatever shows up, I'm not going to reject any part of me. you
Yeah.
know I'm going to embrace every part of that, and I'm going to, yeah, and that's what creates peace. Peace is accepting. I think that's Eckhart Tolle's quote, and I'm not sure if I'm saying it rightly. He's saying, peace is not what is, when you're controlling what is going to happen to you. Peace is accepting whatever it is in
Yeah.
that moment.
Yeah.
That's what inner peace brings,
Yeah.
without trying to change that moment.
Yes.
So I think that was quite powerful for me. Are you finding that quote?
Yeah. Well, I was trying to, but yeah, it's fine. I'll find it just now. So that, yeah.
So
So
yes.
There's so much of life experience in there. There's so much of wisdom in there. There's so much of food for thought for the listeners, right? And I, again, very similar to you, Sangeeta. I grew up in chaos, 100% chaos. I think in the first 23 years of my life, we probably moved every 2 years. In fact, we did move on average. When I worked it out, it was every 2 years. And when my sister and I moved to London, I worked out the average again that we moved was almost 2.5 to 3 years. So it's that pattern and that behavior is so natural that you subconsciously just continue with it. So there was something in there that felt this is comfortable, that chaos is comfortable, and keep perpetuating it. Again, it's coming from very much from within because that's what I understood. And I've got this quote here from David Hawkins, obviously, who we've been talking about mainly for the vibration, the map of consciousness and the vibration scale. And he says, peace is not a feeling to be chased, but a state that emerges when nothing is resisted. So nothing extraordinary is happening as such, but you feel
Yeah.
okay. And I think, in all of those emotions of, like we talked about the vibration scale moving up and down it, to your point, we can go, it's going to be like this. That is literally the human experience. That's what we've come here to experience. So it's just how long we stay in those lower states. And again, they're not lower in a sense that, you should feel be judged for that. But we
Yeah.
will, if we're going down to fear, guilt, shame, um, whatever those various ones are again, how long are you going to stay in there? And it's in those the tools that you mentioned again, the meditation, the mindfulness, the being in nature, reading, writing, coloring, whatever it is, those creative expressions is what allows you to bounce back a lot quicker and find that peace within. So I would say to our listeners is find what gives you that peace. And I know the initial answer is always going to be nothing because I'm so anxious and, like I've tried, I can't attain peace. And that's exactly true. You can't attain it. It's something you have to work through. And obviously, the work that Sangeeta and I do, the mentoring, the coaching, the energetic healing, channeling, that's part of it. It's understanding what those wounds are, what the triggers are, what's the narrative that we've been saying to ourselves since we were 5 years old, that we remember and we don't remember, and how those things drive us, drive decisions, drive reactions, drive our body language and, conversations that we don't even know that we're presenting. The tone of our voice, the breath, how far it goes down, into our belly or it doesn't. So it's so much deeper, but it is absolutely possible for all of us to get to that state of peace. And I've been following the monks that are walking across the US, the walk for peace. And there was a video that someone shared and said, what is it that when human beings look at monks, they immediately just feel that peace and they feel really emotional, like it's almost like a shedding. Even now, as I'm talking about it, I can feel that those emotions. And it is that vibration. It's that, they're walking in cold, in tough situations. They're walking barefoot most of the times, but their purpose and why they're doing this is to help us all realize that peace is possible, it's achievable. It all starts within, with each of us individually putting ourselves first. And we're not used to hearing that, as we know, right? We all, the idea that if we think about ourselves, we're selfish. That's, it's all about you type of thing. But actually, it isn't. It's the moment you start with you, everyone's going to benefit from that version that comes out on the other side. So yeah, so quiet, joy, and peace are such beautiful states. And to your point, oh my gosh, we get to experience it, and the joy I get to experience now, just little dragons, or the oracle cards, or just speaking to someone about this journey, or and like a friend of mine had said to me the other day, she's like, Panima, we need to see that version of you, that that joyful version. And I've been reflecting on that for a long time, and I still don't quite know what the answer is, but that joyful version that I was also a different version. And that joy came from an expression of another time. So because I was like, oh, am I missing something? Am I not, I'm doing all this work, but I'm not joyful. Is there something wrong? And actually, I realized when I'm in the house and I'm walking around and I'm interacting with my environment, when I'm talking to my husband or I'm talking to a friend, and it's just a very quiet joy. It's not as effusive as I used to be. It's a quiet joy, and I smile. I smile often through the day to myself, or when I'm talking to someone on the phone, I'm smiling. I'm not. It's not forced. It's not. It's not this. Oh, I need to be excited. I need to be joyful. Like. And there have been moments where you do that because you show up, you're performing. So, you do pretend also that you're happy or you're joyful. So yeah. Um, where I'm at is I feel, yeah, to your point, very similar to you. There's moments of joy, there's moments of tears, there's moments of anxiety, but I'm able to move through those stages with a lot more ease and grace and awareness and awareness. So yeah.
And I think that's so beautiful because what you said is, it's how long are we going to stay there?
Mm,
So that comes from knowing that we have a choice,
yes.
knowing that I'm a co-creator. When
Mm,
I'm giving that responsibility to somebody else, well, you created that sadness in me.
mm,
Then I'm going to sit and wait for you to create the peace and joy as well.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So it's the awareness of like, I am in charge of my life. I am the co-creator. Yes, that person who is saying whatever they need to say, or whatever is happening, or if you're observing something, you know, um, so when you give all that power to that person, that that person has the power to create joy, sadness, misery in your life, you're coming from a place of victim. You're feeling, I'm
Mm,
helpless, I can't do anything, I'm just
yeah,
observing and experiencing all of that. No. And that's what our work does, is we go through life with awareness,
yeah.
and again, it's not about, and something else came to me while you were talking about the scale of lower vibration and high vibration. And what I realized was, whenever I am approaching a new situation, whenever I am doing something new,
Mm,
I'm going to go through that lower stages.
yes, yes.
Every time I'm going
Yeah.
to feel anxious because I'm trying something new.
New. Yeah.
Yeah. There will be fear,
Mm,
there will be guilt sometimes. Oh, am I missing out on something? Or is somebody else suffering because of me, or something like that? So going up and down again. And if you're not feeling that, that means you're not growing, because growth happens from the place of discomfort. It
yeah.
starts from there. It starts
Yeah.
from a choice of making that. I bet you felt uncomfortable talking to me about it because
Yeah.
you're moving forward. You're
Yeah.
trying to do something new. There is
Yeah.
an anxiety,
Yes.
yeah, in
Yes.
there, that I
Yes.
don't know what the future holds for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we can become like a child and saying, okay, I don't know what's out there, but I know I need to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Now there is a letting go of the control.
Mm.
There is a innocence like a child. But of course, there is anxiety. There's fear. What if I fail? What if that's the wrong decision? What
Yeah.
if I don't survive?
Yes.
What if
Yes.
I fail? All of that is part of being human. So every time this happens, says, "Oh, am I trying something new?" Get excited.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
am I stepping into some unknown? Get excited. And know that you have the power to take yourself up again. Yes, you have to do the work. Me and Purnima are here to hold your hand, or to help you to just connect with the truth of who you are. But there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
If, like me and Purnima, the only point why we wanted to share our journeys is like, we are not here where we are right now. That moment, in moments we can change. We can change our state of mind, state of being, and we can then, because we are very, very aware, it's the work we have done. And we didn't start it there. We both had a lot of wounds, a lot of trauma. We had to heal. We have to go through that. We have to understand. And one of the things I do with the hypnosis and rapid transformational therapies is make people understand why you're why you keep creating the same thing, why you keep creating this loop that you
Mm.
cannot break out of it. One, because you're not aware. Second, you don't understand something. You're
Yeah,
not aware and you don't understand. How will you change it?
yeah,
So the
absolutely.
work we are doing is very important, and with awareness, um anything can be shifted, anything can be moved through it. But yeah, one thing is, what I want you to do is be kind to yourself. We always say it. Don't go into guilt and shame.
Yes.
Yes, if there's anxiety, there's fear, it's normal. Learn some techniques, come and work with us so we can guide you through whatever challenges you're going through.
Yeah, and I think that's really important. Just again reiterating that point that there's going to be many things in our life that we may try something, we may end up with someone that in years to come we think, gosh, well, I wouldn't say gosh, but I'd say that, oh wow, it may have, sort of resulted in an amazing partnership, or resulting in potentially, ending up with a narcissist that you
Yeah,
didn't
true.
realize, and then you in the midst of that struggle, and then it is a struggle and it's painful because we know many people that experience this, I would say, every minute, almost not even every day, and it's a painful situation and people have to stay for a variety of reasons. And to those people, if they're listening, I would say, don't add guilt, don't add shame, don't add judgment to that situation, because you're already in pain, and you're going to then just put yourself further down that vibration scale. And again, it's not about the vibration scale, but that's just to give you context. It's just going to bring you further down. And then that's where the true anxiety comes in, and the fear that I can't see beyond my life. Like, this is all I can see is just pure pain, just pure pain. So um, it's those little tools that Sangeeta said, that even if you're in that situation and for whatever reason you may need to be there a little bit longer, what can you do to help calm your nervous system down, help you, your family, your kids, whatever that situation is? And again, this is, I'm talking, that's just one example, but this could be many examples in the workplace. We know that the state of the world as it is
Mhm.
right now is tough. Um, I don't necessarily watch the news. I certainly don't. I will get my news the way I need to get it, but I don't sit there watching it every day, because I won't be able to do the work that I need to do if that, if I continue. So I pray. I pray a lot for the world. I pray for peace and love, and and I send that vibration out. Um, yeah. So I just there was a friend and I, friends visiting from Spain at the moment, and we watched the movie Soul yesterday. It's a Disney Pixar movie, and that movie was it beautifully encapsulated this thing that, we all chasing, we think we should be chasing a purpose. And Prish said this to me. He said, I keep hearing this, that people are chasing their purpose. Uh, and I remember that sitting in the back of my head, and I was like, okay, yeah, because I felt like I did, in a sense, in the end, I was like, oh, I've found my purpose in this life, and Lolita Moon is that. And actually, he was saying that every moment of your life is a purpose. Like, uh, you don't come to life to fulfill one purpose. It's you come here to be alive by fully living the life you're already in. And that fundamentally, your purpose is fully engaging the whole kaleidoscope of colors of being a human being. And
Yeah.
pain and challenges are part of that. So,
Mm,
so yeah.
that's
But you're
beautiful.
going to take us through a remembering practice, Sangeeta, and then I'm going to pull a card for us. So,
Okay, yeah. I was thinking, are you doing the card first or am I doing the practice? No, what I wanted to, something you were saying, what were you
about the
saying
human
about? Yeah.
experience, the human experience, yeah.
Sorry. The
The
human
human experience
experience,
and
yes.
purpose, yeah.
And purpose, yeah. So purpose you were talking about. And I felt that as well. What is my purpose? Where I'm going and all of that. And one day I felt that me being me
Mm.
and being authentic me is my purpose,
Mm.
because your divine has created everybody, and they have their unique qualities and unique,
Yeah.
the way they look, the way they dress, the way they speak, our voice vibration and everything else. So me being me can, one, give permission to other people to say it's okay, you're beautiful just the way you are. You're not perfect,
Yeah.
but you're definitely beautiful and unique in your own way.
Yeah.
And peace, I was talking about, when you were talking about peace and monks walking, and I felt your emotions as well. And a lot of times people ask that, oh my God, there's so much chaos in the world, how can we feel peace? But what we can contribute, yes, with prayers, yes, raising our vibration. But I always say, you becoming peace momentarily, even 10 minutes of the
Mm.
day, peace, that is contributing to the world,
100%.
because we are
Yeah.
all connecting. We are
Yes.
all connected. So rather than looking at the news creating chaos, then you're adding to the chaos.
Chaos. Yeah.
If you move away from it and do meditation, or even just invite some calming energy just with music or meditation or wherever, you're adding to the peace.
Yeah.
We all have
Absolutely.
contribution. We can all do something about it. Yes, maybe not in a bigger scale, but every little being who is being peaceful, a few minutes in the minute as well of the day, guess what? We are lifting up the
Yeah.
vibration.
The
We are
vibration.
adding.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
every time you do something, whether you're having a conversation, or whether whatever you're watching, be aware of where you're contributing to. Are you
Yeah.
creating more chaos within you, because then you're contributing more to chaos?
Yeah.
Or are you being more peaceful? Then you're
Yeah.
contributing to peace.
Yeah.
It's well and good. We all want peace, but what are we doing to create? So
Yeah.
let's start doing it from whatever we can individually, and collectively, that will have a ripple effect. And
It
I
will.
promise that,
Yeah,
you
it
know.
absolutely. That like I remember when I started this journey, or started the healing, or just sort of going within it. Really, I used to always think. I think I'd written like, what can one little old me do, to change the world? And now
Mm.
I'm like, oh my word, I want to shout from the rooftops to say, every little old person, one individual, absolutely changes the
Yeah,
world. We just don't realize it. That, like you're saying, when you
true.
raise your vibration and you shine your light, that light has a ripple effect. If it starts around you, and then every person around them, it moves and moves, and then the whole world gets to enjoy that.
That's
So
how we,
yeah,
that's how we shine a light.
exactly, exactly, exactly.
All right. Well, let's take you guys through a small piece, like a soul tool we call, to remembering who we are. So it's a gentle practice. So just sit back and relax if you can do it, if you're safe to do so. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out. Let's do it one more time. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out. One more time. Take a deep breath in and out. Now, I want you to recall a recent moment where you felt okay. Even briefly, you felt okay. Notice what was present in that moment, or what was absent, whichever you prefer. So let's say what was present in the moment. Notice that. Now place a hand on your body, so one place on your heart and one on your tummy, and say silently that this is also part of me. Joy doesn't need to be created, it needs to be remembered. Let's do that for peace. This is also part of me. Peace doesn't need to be created. It needs to be remembered. And one thing, I want you to do it for love. I want you to feel that love for yourself, for your beingness, for you being alive, and for uniquely being you. So this is also part of me. Love doesn't need to be created. it needed to be remembered. It is. Love is. Peace is. Joy is. It's just us becoming present in that moment to experience all of that. And whenever you're ready, just take a deep breath in and open your eyes.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Um, the thought that was just going through my head is it is just simply that love, peace, and joy are our natural states.
Right. Yeah.
Our natural
Yeah.
states. It's not something that we need to
Work hard
aspire
for it.
to or work hard to. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
especially love. Like love is it's such a natural thing. It's just so natural to us. But we've
Love is who we are.
yeah,
Love is who we are. So
yeah,
it's the
yeah,
core of who we are.
yeah,
So how can we are looking for love outside? We just need to
yeah.
connect with
With
ourselves. We are
ourselves,
love.
and it will naturally, and then it will flow out. Yeah, I know it was actually, it's funny. I was talking. We were out yesterday with a friend, and that same conversation around self love, and he had the same idea that, well, no, like loving yourself seems selfish,
Mhm.
and it's that's a misconception that is so often it's what keeps us in that state. And as we sort of explained that, the whole sort of, I guess, the spectrum of that, he could then see, yeah, okay, I get that. I totally I understand what this is. But it's true. Most times people think it's selfish. So, yeah. Okay. So I'm pulling a card from the wisdom of the Oracle deck.
We
It's
love the wisdom.
it's such a beautiful deck again. I think I did maybe the last time as well. Let's see. What's the message for the collective?
And for us,
And for us, of course, yes, of course, naturally.
we are part
Okay.
of the collective, I
We are part
suppose.
of the collective. Yes, very much so. Okay, what do you say? What do you say? What do you say? Oh my goodness me. Look at that. I love this card. It's the happy, happy card. Look at that. I'm going to keep that there for a second because this is the
Beautiful.
joy, peace, and love episode. And it's 26, which is 8, and 8 is all about abundance. So, okay, let's read. Oh, I love this. It's such a beautiful way to end the series, as in the vibration series. Okay, so happy, happy, the essential meanings: joy and contentment, a sense of fulfillment, a feeling that all is well. Your desires are effortlessly fulfilled now. Find joy in the present moment, whatever is happening, and be satisfied with things as they are. You're free from the shackles of longing and able to experience the liberation that comes from actually being happy moment to moment. For you have chosen happiness over the yearning for it. Now is the time for feeling joy for the sake of joy and experiencing contentment. None of this is because something outside yourself. Your happiness is a result of your being at one with Spirit's plan for your life. All is well. The tide is in for now. Enjoy playfully splashing in it. There's a message here for relationships. There are moments in relationships when you feel good about whom you're with and who you know that your heart is wide open to befriend, to love, and to care for another without wanting anything in return. This is the kind of happy that you want to share. The appearance of this card in a reading tells you that joy and contentment are here now, not somewhere else in the future. The grass is greenest right where you stand. Be grateful and delight in your relationship. If you're seeking one, be happy now. Happiness attracts more of itself like bees to honey. And the last message around prosperity is this is a time to take pride in your accomplishments. You're doing good work and providing exceptional service and are well compensated for it. The world rains gratitude upon you, and you're happy with the results of your efforts and creativity. Isn't it amazing to consider all that you've done? Remember your partnership with spirit in this moment too. Your soul has always known you could accomplish anything if it brought you joy.
Oh, I'm just speechless.
I know. It's
How spirit gives you that nudge and say, yeah, you're on the right path. And I think one of the most important point it really said, that was that when we are in joy, we can create more joy.
yeah,
Because that's the vibration we are in. Like we were saying, if we start from fear, we'll create more fear.
yeah,
Because you came from love and really authenticity, guess what came back to you
yeah,
was love and authenticity,
yeah,
you know. And that's why we need to work on ourselves, because guys, when I'm in love vibration, I am going to attract love. Yes, if something else come up, I'll catch it up and I'll say, thank you very much.
yeah,
There's no space there for it. Thank you for showing me. Maybe I need to clean up my vibration a little bit. But no, I won't, and I will always attract. It's the law of the resonance. You will not get what you want, you will get who you are.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
when we are in peace, we are going to experience more peace, joy, and love. And thank you, Spirit.
I know, thank you. It's again just, we always, Sangeeta and I are always a bit, what's the word, in awe, and we're always surprised. But we know,
We are.
this is no coincidence. We are guided.
I think Angel are saying, why are you still
Exactly,
why is
exactly. And, just the perfect message to reiterate exactly what we've talked about. So yeah, as we're
wow.
closing,
Okay, well. First of all, thank you so much for the beautiful message, Purnima. And, guys, as we close this series, remember nothing you have heard here is about becoming someone else. Again, that's the main point. You are who you are. Uh, be loving to yourself, be kind, be authentically you.
yeah, it's about exactly that. It's about returning to yourself. And you probably, I'm hoping that, this message is resonating more and more, because I'm hearing it more and more, just from everywhere. But it's a journey home to yourself. It's coming home to yourself and actually getting to experience who you truly are, not the versions that people have been telling you your whole life, not the wounds, just on its own. It's again that whole kaleidoscope of who Sangeeta is, who Panima is, who you are. So get to know that version with curiosity, not judgment. And I genuinely, I say this, I guarantee that you're going to find that joy, peace, and love, because we've experienced it, and we know people that we work with and are working with are experiencing it. So it's not something that's not, it's just the proof is in the pudding, basically. So, yeah,
True, true. And joy, love, and peace, remember, they are not permanent states. We are not ascended that much that we can hold on to that vibration and stay in there for very, very long time. Even in one day, we will go through different states. But like we said, don't strive for it. Just know. When there is knowing, there is calmness. When I know who I am, now I'm not looking at anybody else to validate me, to tell me who I am. I know who I am. I know what I can do, what I can create. But guess what? This where I am is 18 years of my work, and I'm still going to keep growing. I'm still going to keep working. So, whatever state you go there, know that it's not permanent. Even in fear, when you are, it's not your permanent state,
yeah,
it's not your natural state. So, when we go through life with awareness, lots of things will change.
yeah, perfect. So, do you want to? Yeah, we're closing up now. So,
We just, oh my God, I just can't believe, how quickly the time
I
goes.
know.
Um, so, yes, we are closing up, and yes, like we said, Purnima is going to do other things, but as guided soul reflections continue, because it certainly will, I'll be moving forward as the main host, creating space for ongoing conversations, lots of channeling around healing, awareness, and lived integrations. And if this series have stirred something in you, a desire for steadiness, for clarity, or deeper self connection, know that you don't have to walk that journey alone.
Thank you. Yeah. So, thank you to the listeners. And yeah, just, like I said, Sangeeta and I will be collaborating even in the future. While my chapter as a co host comes to a close, the work I offer continues in one to one spaces, again, rooted in this, the healing work and the awareness and the mentoring. So, neither of us are here to fix or change. We're here to support you in hearing yourself more clearly. And I think that's really important. If that feels supportive, you'll find our details in the show notes. And if not, trust that wherever you've taken from the series will meet you when it needs to. So
Yeah.
thank you
First of
for.
all, before you say thank you to everybody else, I want to say a big thank you to you for being part of my life, for being part of this, because I think I I had the idea of podcast, and I don't think I would have started without you, without your energy, without your laughter, without your without your kind of vision as well, the amount of work you do for the podcast and everything else. So I'm very, very grateful for you being here. I'm grateful for who you are, who you're becoming, and I love you very,
Oh,
very
thank you. And I'm going to say the same thing back to you. I know we have this amazing energy. Whenever we connect on the podcast, it's like just magic happens. And sometimes we don't get to speak to each other as often in the week, but the moment we hear, it's like we've spoken every single day. So that connection is there. It's authentic. And thank you for pushing me. Thank you for encouraging me along the way. And I know I'm going to continue to need that need that encouragement. Um, and yeah, watch the space. But I'm not going to say bye to the listeners. But it's just ta-da for now. But yeah, so I'll just say yeah. So thank you for walking this journey with us. The awakening is in the finish line. It's a rhythm, and I think I'm experiencing that right now. And joy, love, and peace are part of that rhythm, not something to chase, but as something to return to. So be gentle with yourself. And from my heart, thank you. And thank you, Sangeeta. And good luck with, evolving the podcast. I'm really excited. I'll be listening. So thank you.
Thank you so much, and goodbye.
Thank you.